Welcome to Kripabhavan Daily Reflections.
Welcome to Kripabhavan Daily Reflection. 2 Pillars. Each year on June 29th, Christians around the world celebrate the feast of Saints Peter and Paul, two of the most prominent apostles and foundational figures in the early church. Though distinct in personality, mission, and journey, Peter and Paul stand together as towering witnesses of faith, courage, and devotion to the gospel. Their joint feast reminds us not only of their martyrdom in Rome but also of the unity and diversity within the body of Christ.
Saint Peter, the rock of the church. Saint Peter, originally named Simon, was a fisherman from Galilee when Jesus called him to become a fisher of men. Impulsive, passionate, and deeply human, Peter represents the everyman who stumbles but rises again through grace. Christ named him Petros, the rock, upon which he would build his church, Matthew 16 verse 18. Despite his denial of Jesus during the Passion, Peter was restored by the risen Christ and became the first leader of the Christian community in Jerusalem and, eventually, Bishop of Rome, what would become the papacy. Peter's journey from fear to fearless leadership, from doubt to deep conviction, embodies the transformative power of divine mercy. Tradition holds that he was martyred in Rome under Emperor Nero, crucified upside down out of humility, unwilling to die in the same manner as his Lord. Saint Paul, the Apostle to the Gentiles. Saint Paul's path to apostleship began not with a call, but with confrontation. A devout Pharisee and zealous persecutor of Christians, Paul, then Saul, encountered Christ in a blinding vision on the road to Damascus. That moment marked a radical conversion that turned a persecutor into the most dynamic missionary of the early church. Paul's writings, which form a significant portion of the New Testament, reveal a man of profound intellect and spiritual insight. His letters address the challenges of new Christian communities, offering teachings on grace, faith, love, and the nature of the church. Known as the Apostle to the Gentiles, Paul opened the message of Christ to the wider world, uniting Jewish and non-Jewish believers in one faith. He too was martyred in Rome, traditionally believed to have been beheaded, a fate more dignified in Roman law as he was a citizen.
2 lives, 1 mission. Though Peter and Paul had differing approaches, Peter rooted in Jewish tradition, Paul expansive in his outreach to the Gentiles, they were united in their love for Christ and their ultimate sacrifice for his name. Their complementary missions show that the Church is both anchored in tradition and propelled by mission, both pastoral and theological, both human and divine. Their joint feast is not only a commemoration of their martyrdom but a celebration of the unity of the Church founded on diverse gifts. In their lives, we see how God calls imperfect people to carry out His perfect will. A legacy that lives on. Today, the feast of Saints Peter and Paul is especially significant in Rome, where solemn masses, processions, and prayers honor the apostles who gave their lives in witness. The Pope, successor of Saint Peter, often bestows the pallium, a woolen vestment symbolizing unity and pastoral authority, on newly appointed metropolitan archbishops around the world on this day. More than just a historical remembrance, this feast challenges us to live with apostolic courage. It invites us to listen, like Peter, to the voice that calls us beyond our failures. It urges us, like Paul, to never tire of proclaiming the good news, even when it leads to suffering.
Conclusion. The Feast of Saints Peter and Paul is a celebration of faith lived boldly, love preached widely, and unity forged through difference. As we honor these two saints, may we be inspired to stand firm like Peter, and to reach out like Paul, bearing witness to Christ in a world still longing for truth, mercy, and hope.